Good evening and welcome back to Holistic. Tonight I would like to cover a little bit about fasting and autophagy. Hopefully I'll slow down enough to actually cover some of the content that I want to get to. The first thing, of course, is I'm not a doctor, but I would like to give you a list of names. Most of them, or half of them, are doctors who cover fasting and autophagy. This is basically how I learned about it in the last year, and it probably started with Thomas DeLauer. I spent several years doing keto and Atkins, and Thomas DeLauer is big on fasting. He's mostly intermittent fasting, but that sort of went into all of the other people. The one that I believe, in my opinion, is the most knowledgeable is Dr. Jason Fung. He's a nephrologist, and he's written the Obesity Code, the Cancer Code. He talks all about fasting, everything fasting, and he explains autophagy. So I don't have a medical degree per se. I'm just putting things out in layman's terms. What is autophagy? The other people that you can look up, Dave Asprey, Alan Goldhammer, Dr. Alan Goldhammer, Dr. Mindy Peltz, and David Sinclair. All of these people are very much pro-fasting. So fasting in 18 hours or longer, some people say 24 hours or longer, causes autophagy. What is autophagy? Like I said, this is layman's terms. If you break down the word autophagy, it is self-eating. And you'll say, what in the world is that? Well, your body's going to eat something, isn't it? So if you're not giving it food, it's going to eat something. Most of us, 80, 90% of Americans and people around the world, we have a few extra pounds here and there in all different forms, different reasons that we can use, that we have extra of. Now, if you're 70, 80 pounds, obviously you're probably not going to be fasting. But most of us have something that we can use. Now, the autophagy, the idea behind it, and this is just my words, is that you have cells that are already dying, already falling apart, if you will. And so this is on a mitochondrial cellular level. The protein is taken from and eaten, if you will. The protein is taken from those old cells and used to build up stronger cells in other places in your body. So your body's not dumb. You're not going to miss a meal, go to bed and die because you missed a meal. That's not what's going to happen. So it's going to restructure. So it eats or takes these old cells that aren't being used for any good anymore, basically, and strengthen other cells. And like I said, if you have any questions about the fasting and autophagy, listen to these doctors. Look up these doctors. They're all on YouTube. You can find them all on YouTube. Any questions you have, they cover it. They cover everything. Everything that I would have any questions about anyway. And in most of it's all from a hormonal aspect. The longer that you fast, the less ghrelin you produce, which means you're not as hungry. It's treats insulin issues, treats all sorts of issues. And so this can actually, heal the body on many, many levels. One of the reasons why I wanted to just talk a little bit about the fasting and autophagy is because a lot of the supplements and the things that that I'm looking at, that I'm taking, they build on this concept of autophagy and the way that the body uses old cells to build new cells. And so when we talk about longevity and you hear that word autophagy, you have an idea of what that means. And there's a lot of different areas that we can cover on this, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. And if you want to know more about this, look up these doctors. I'll be covering different areas in this, and I think I did okay in describing what that is, or what I understand it to be. It is a discipline. It's a discipline, but you can start with smaller hours, work up to longer hours. And there's videos on here from once a day eating, eat like a bear. I'm going to pin that one right up. And then there's other videos of people who've gone 40 days. 40 days. So anything that you're interested in, you might have to dig a little bit, but it's there and it should answer your questions for you. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like the comments, or if you like the content, go ahead and like and subscribe. Feel free to add anything to the comments if you have any questions, and we will see you again. Thanks. Good night.